I get asked all the time would I run for public office, and I appreciate the sentiment, and I've considered it. I have a platform. I would either run for Congress or the presidency. But I don't think it would make any difference because we as the people actually don't want change. We're content with the lesser of two evils every election. We enable both political parties. And whether we want to hear it or not, they're two sides of the same coin. Yes, we have one party, my former Republican Party, that is the party of defending pedophiles and rapists and felons and insurrectionists because they want to keep America white at any cost, even if it burns Rome to the ground. And then we have another political party that sits around and does absolutely nothing and just watches everything happen because you and I have to vote for the lesser of two evils because they're not Republicans. That's the problem. And then the next election in 26 and 28, you're probably going to vote for Gavin Newsom, who I can't stomach. But he's the lesser of two evil, Paul. Now's not the time to fix it. Then when is the time? Well, let's use Gavin Newsom as an example, okay? My governor. During COVID, when people were dying, he went out and had dinner with his rich, snobby friends at the French Laundry. That's the only time he got caught. Just think of how many times that he actually did it before then. He doesn't care about the people. When Xi Jinping came over, he cleared all the homeless people off the street so he could take a photo op to make it look good like he was doing something. And he didn't do a damn thing to fix it. Even on his podcast right now, who's he having on there? Steve Bannon, a convicted felon and election denier. What's the purpose? Because he's playing political games. I would rather vote for Snoopy in the election, to be honest with you. I'm frankly tired of the lesser of two evils. But I don't think that most people are ready for that yet. You just want things to be normal. Look, I'm going to Europe in a couple of months I'm meeting some family over there it's like my 50th birthday in October. And it's interesting when I watch videos and I talk to people, like the quality of life over there is so much better. They're not angry. They don't have homeless people all over the streets. They don't have gun violence. A mom and dad can leave their kid on the street and say, hey, I'll be right back in 10 minutes. I got to go home. And they have no worries about someone snatching their kids. They have universal health care. They don't do active shooter drills. People aren't in debt because they can't afford medical care. They have a better quality of life. And see, that's fundamentally the problem with America is that we think that we're great, but we're not. We're actually not great at all. And I know I sound redundant, but the reality is we've only been great for white people, and even that's been a facade. Go ask any person that's not white when this country was great. Go ask the Native Americans. Go ask our black brothers and sisters, Asians, women who couldn't vote until the early 1900s. They're going to laugh at you because it's never been great for everybody. It's a lie. And I don't think that Americans actually want to have that conversation about the lie of American exceptionalism. We're content basking in our own glory and waving flags and bald eagles and symbols and yelling freedom because we're stupid. Oh, look, I have guns, but it sucks that 40,000 people die. There's just nothing I can do. But thank God I took tampons out of boys' bathrooms because that was so important. We're not a serious country. How do you consider that a great country? Now, can we be a great country? Yeah. The problem is a lot of Americans, they want to stay inside the matrix. You want to believe this lie of American exceptionalism that we're the best of the best of the best of the best. We're not. We're just not. We got two parties that are just acting like a bunch of petulant children. And you got one party that just basically it uses all non-white people like Nazi Germany to scare them that their version of American exceptionalism is going away. And the Democrats are just sitting there with a can of WD-40 doing nothing about it. When the convicted felon ran for president and he said, people are coming home as transgenders from school, how many Democrats asked him, give me the names of 50 people? Give me the names of 50 people who were unqualified as DEI hires. They didn't do it, did they? Tell me who's eating the cats and dogs. They didn't do it. Because they're allowing it to happen. They're complicit through their silence. The metaphor I don't like to use it, but it's important, is what happened to George Floyd? The Republican Party is the officer that has his knee on the neck that murdered him. May he rot in hell. And the Democrats are the three officers that stood by. They're both complicit in different ways. They're two sides of the same coin. And until we actually can address that and say they're both wrong, the system's broken, then we're not going to be great. There's no reason for me to run for public office. But if I did, this is what I would do. I would sleep on the floors of Congress until they passed gun legislation, because I'm sick and tired of people in this country saying they're pro-life while you vote for a rapist, while you vote for a pedophile, while you voted for a man who caused an insurrection that led to the death of officers because you're so pro-life, but you won't do a damn thing about keeping children safe in schools. I want universal health care because I'm actually pro-life. I want housing to be affordable because I'm actually pro-life. I want minimum wage increased because it hasn't got up since 2009 because I'm pro-life. I want to tax the shit out of rich people. And I want the wealth to actually trickle down to the people that bust their ass and make people money. I want to make adoption easier. You shouldn't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars a year to adopt a child that needs help. Not rocket science, people. Yes, I want to balance the budget, but the government is also not a for-profit business. That's what I would run on. But too many people are stuck in their tribes. Vote blue no matter who, or own the libs. And as much as we want to blame the politicians, we're responsible for putting them there. Because they're a reflection of us. Yes, we should criticize the elected officials. I criticize both sides. But the reality is that you put them there. You voted for them. You donated to them. Because you settled for an abusive relationship where the lesser of two evils was acceptable to you. And until we decide to break that, it doesn't matter. The last thing I'm going to say is this, and I'm going to keep saying it because it needs to be said. I don't care if one person watches my damn video. Until we address white supremacy, it is not going to matter who runs in the office. I don't care if the Democrats win in the midterms. I don't care if the Democrats win in 28. I would rather let the Republicans burn it to the ground, if I'm truly honest. Because when I hear white people say, oh, let's just vote for the lesser of two evils, now's not the time, that is white privilege oozing out of every pore, saying you want things to go back to normal, and things cannot go back to normal. 77 million people voted for a child molester, a rapist, a felon who was actively defending child molesters. He's a felon. He calls women fat and piggy. Added $8 trillion to the debt. And you said, yeah, that's my guy because he told me something that I like. Because I hated the other side so bad. Because eggs were expensive. And you threw out all of your morality while you wave your Bibles and flop your gold crosses around. Please spare me your crap. You were never voting for the black woman. You can be on the right side of history or you can be on the white side of history. I picked a lane, but I'm choosing to actually fix the foundation of this country because it's wrong. It was built on the 3/5 clause. You want something radical? Rewrite the Constitution without the 3/5 clause. You want to be great for everybody? Rewrite it. But white people won't do it because they want to believe in the lie of American exceptionalism. They want to think that we're the best of the best. And anything that impedes on that insults that. Have a good day.